Hey guys, Mr. Subarashi here, and I'll just come out and say that I haven't posted in a while. That is pretty apparent if you look at the post date of my last video. I've been finding really quick that it's very, very difficult to be able to post content while also doing a normal 9-to-5 job and being recently married and everything else that's been going on in my life. It's very challenging to try to force yourself to work a full day, then get home, make dinner, do your daily things, and then now I gotta record a video for another, hour and a half, do video editing, all that, and then it's like, okay, so now I'm going to bed at 3 in the morning, and the next day is just horrible. So I give a lot of credit to all those content creators out there, because being able to juggle around both, like Gresh for sure, the homie Gresh, I just don't understand how he does that. He is a beast, and honestly, I'm so grateful for guys like that can handle that, because I haven't been able to find a good balance in that yet. Also, just on top of all of that, I apologize if my audio doesn't sound as good as it did in my previous videos. My last headset that was a bit of a nicer one broke recently, so I'm kind of stuck on a cheaper one, so I'm assuming the quality isn't going to sound as nice and sharp as it normally does, so I'm looking to get a better headset here soon for that. Okay, so the main point of this video, one is I wanted to post another video since I haven't in a while, and I do enjoy doing this, and I just kind of wanted to go through an overview of what God Key is kind of like right now in today's meta, and also just kind of go through some of my thoughts and opinions on the state of the game right now. We've had a few updates and some quality of life upgrades and just some general things that might be a couple good discussion points that I kind of wanted to go through. Basically, this is just going to be a gameplay in the background video where I just kind of talk over it for a little bit. So I was going to make a summoning video for Blue Evolution Vegeta just because he is so far my favorite unit in the game to come out. Just character-wise in general, I like his playstyle. I don't think it's as good as it should have been, but then again, I think he should have been a main celebration unit. I don't think he kind of should have just been released out of nowhere like he was, especially with the banner with no other side units. With the release of Topo and Kale and Khalifa, I think most of the community is under the general consensus that we all agree that Topo should have been on Vegeta's banner. I don't know why they did that other than money reasons, but it is what it is. I like using Vegeta. I like using Topo. I got pretty lucky on Topo's banner. Not so lucky on Vegeta's, but if you happen to notice in some of my background gameplay, he is 2 red stars, so 9 stars, and I did wail out a little bit for him. I figured, what the heck, he's my favorite, so I did put a lot of my resources into him. I got UI up to 9 stars as well, so that's basically the team I've been rocking with for a little bit. I've been trying to replace Vados with Topo just because Vegeta works better with that setup, but I wouldn't say at least at 7 stars that God Topo's been my albeit replacement. He doesn't completely eclipse Vados, and maybe as I get his stars up more, I'll start seeing that a little bit more one-sided, but as of right now, I kind of miss Vados' heals and support that she normally brings. Also, PvP's been pretty bad for me in terms of trying to not get really laggy matches or disconnectors or bots, so I was pretty low in the ranks when I recorded my video gameplays. I noticed the last couple seasons, especially this one, I don't know if I've just been very unlucky or what, but my matchmaking has been horrible. So I just took it earlier on, just in the hopes of finding regular matches that aren't horribly laggy. I feel for the guys that go for the top 1000s and all of that, because it's bad just at battle rank 50 alone, much less once you start getting really ranked up there. So kudos to them. But yeah, so it's just some general gameplay. It's not some of my best. I was a little rusty. I haven't been going crazy. I really haven't done crazy top ranking PvP in quite a few seasons now, but I just have been trying to cut back a little bit on the grind, and with my new job and stuff like that, I can't regularly play like that during the day or anything, so I've just been trying to enjoy PvP for what it is. And you know, unfortunately, we're kind of segueing into one of the topics I did want to discuss, which is where God Key is in the meta, and kind of what it's like, I guess, in the meta right now. For those of you who agree with me on the Son family meta and the joys of fighting that team over and over and over again. To be honest, I was actually always kind of on the side of not really having too much trouble with LF Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, the red one. Since I used UI, 90% of the time, if he was the last man standing, I would save my ult with UI for him, which would get rid of all of his last man standing buffs, and then he really wasn't that big of a problem for me. But as we've gone into more of the LFs with Super Saiyan 3 Goku, with the new LF Gohan, with LF Future Gohan, and you start getting into this revival and endurance meta with him, it's become less and less enjoyable. And as someone who refuses to kind of go into that just because I main God Key, I only put into banners that have God Key or something that I'm after on that sense, that it has become a lot less enjoyable. And while God Key definitely got huge buffs, Vegeta's great, UI's still good. We have our red merged Zamasu, which is great. Topo's okay. I don't think he's the grandest, newest addition, but when push comes to shove, even with all the stars that I have, we'll have a pretty fair match in terms of skill set, and it seems like it's always an uphill battle going against those Zenkais or the endurance. And granted, the only God Key unit I don't have is Clapku. I've been doing dailies in the hopes of getting him, just because I'm not going to summon on the horrible banners that I don't need to summon on just for the chance of getting him. I'll just wait for it to happen naturally. I think having VB to where I have him at, or Zenkai 7 SSB Goku, it's just not worth it to me to go after Revival Goku. But other than him, it's challenging. Our cover changes are great with UI, and pretty much all of the LFs that have recently come out for God Key. But when it's all said and done, if you don't have that Rising Rush control, it's ridiculous. And these Zenkai units are so tanky that it really prolongs the matches, and it almost feels like I gotta win 3 or 4 combos in a row just to be like head and head with these guys. But if I make one mistake at all, I got a dead unit. If I miss my Rising Rush at all, or they match it, you might as well lose. You know what I mean? Especially when you have Nameku or Gohan that are the last man standing units, and then God forbid you have someone that still has endurance or revival Gohan. I mean, you got 5 lives you got to go through there. That's crazy. Like it's still fun. I love the game still. I wouldn't say that I'm anywhere near. I'm not playing anymore, but it's been kind of rough. I will say I feel bad for the teams like LOE. Today they just announced that Frieza's getting his Zenkai Frieza, so hopefully that helps those guys. But you don't really see a lot of regen anymore. Every once in a while you will. You see a lot of God Key now just because Vegeta and Topo just came out, but the hype on that will go down and you'll see that kind of disappear again too, I'm sure. Future you don't really see them too much anymore. It's really just hybrids, movies, and Son Family. And obviously Son Family is going to be good for the entirety of the game just because they're half of the main characters in the entire anime. Duh, Goku's always going to have good cards. MUI is going to come out, which is what I'm personally saving for next, and he's going to fit on that tag. It is what it is, and obviously hopefully he buffs God Key and Universal Survival Saga and whatnot, but going forward, it's to be expected. It's just without having any other really good units that are countering those, it's becoming the Son Family show just over and over again. And I guess the Hybrids is the only other team that counters Son Family just because they're so strong, but with it being so hand in hand, all the same units, it's kind of just feels like you're still playing Son Family. You don't really see Zenkai 7 Trunks too much, at least I haven't been. It just comes down to the Gohan show or the Gohan and Goku show. You know, you'll get a Goten every once in a while, but he's not too oppressive, so I think they handled that one okay. But yeah, I guess just going specifically into Topo, since he is the newest unit I've been trying to work here on the team, his lock-in's cool. I like his ult and how powerful it is if you have 4 cards that get destroyed, but at the same time it kind of stinks too, because then it becomes that you can't combo into it if you destroy all your cards, so he's okay. I'm not super optimal with him yet, so you'll see me making dumb mistakes for sure, but I don't know, it just feels like we're missing something still. I don't really know what the answer is. Hopefully MUI comes out here in around, I don't think he's coming for Black Friday. I think he'll probably be Christmas or New Year's, the dual LF maybe with MUI and Jiren. But it feels like we don't have that dominating unit that Sun Family and Hybrids has right now. You know, I'm not jumping into any of my matches realistically unless it's super low star beginner matches. I'm not one comboing anyone. But yeah, I seem to get one comboed quite a bit if I make one mistake. So yeah, it's, you know, I mean, we're all dealing with it. If you're on the side of Sun Family and Hybrids, then you're enjoying your perks right now. And I don't blame you. You know, I play the game pretty irregularly where I'm just dedicated to one tag, which in turn hurts me because I could be winning a lot more of my matches, I think, on a regular basis if I did switch over. But I play the games how I play them. I want my God Key units, and not that I don't like the other units. I've been tempted to do a Super Saiyan team with Bardock, but I don't want to spend all my free savings on other units. I don't want to spend free savings on this game a whole lot anyways. So if I'm gonna go for a team, I'm just gonna go for my one team, and hopefully my hoarding skills just provides what I need. I do think the biggest way to fix this problem that we keep having, where it's the cycle of, hey, we're gonna buff this tag, so let's just put 3 or 4 huge units in here, and then we're only going to love that tag for a little bit, and then we're going to jump to this next tag and only buff them up for a little. Go back to how you used to do it. Buff Hybrids and God Key at the same time with 2 different units on the banner. Buff Movies and Vegeta family on one banner with 2 different units. I feel like they've been very stingy lately with not releasing a lot of new units on the banner. I mean, look at UI's banner back last Black Friday. We had all the Pride Troopers and Goku all brand new, all on one banner, and people loved it. It's just they don't seem to want to do that anymore, and I'm not really sure why. With how many characters that are still untouched, or versions of characters, you know, that are still untouched in the anime, you know, what are they really holding out? You know, we don't have Dokkan's old problem of, hey, you can't run the same unit named units. That, you know, there is no problem of that in Legends, so I don't really know what the holdup is on that. Because I really think if you have unit banners that come out and every banner buffs 2 different tags, you're not gonna have this onslaught of one defining meta tagged team, and then that's just all it is until the next meta comes around. You'll have more of a balance. It's more fun to play PvP when you're fighting other teams. Like, I'll be honest, I don't like playing, like right now, it's a little stale because every team you fight is God King or Sun Family and Hybrids when you get higher up. It's just, you come to expect the same team over and over again. And, you know, Grush has definitely mentioned it in his videos. Do you think you like playing against Gohan every single match when you get past battle rank 50? Because I don't. It's boring. You know what to expect, you know what to do, you know your tactics, their tactics, and then it gets stale. And without them doing anything special in PvP in terms of special rules or like EX only like they used to and whatnot, it just, unfortunately, while it's still fun and I still enjoy it, I could definitely see how people, like even in my guild mates, like I've noticed some of them, it's like I just don't feel motivated to play anymore when it's boring, you know. Most people don't like summoning, they just want the new units and it feels good when you pull them, but realistically content's been pretty low lately. The raids and everything have been better now with the steps, and the hoi poi coins came back, which is great, but in general, if your main focus is PvP, you gotta keep up with changes, you gotta keep up with new rules to keep people coming back. And when it's the same old thing over and over again for 3 years, it gets boring. Like, I'm just gonna be honest, I'm not excited to go into matches anymore like I used to, and I think most people would agree with that. I hope things get better. They obviously are listening to our feedback, which is great. I commend them for that. They're constantly trying to make changes with basically almost everything else other than a PvP. So hopefully, eventually, they just get around to it and make the game in general a better experience. Because I want to see it succeed like Dokkan has. I want to see it get to the 7-year anniversary. This is by far my favorite game I play, console or mobile. So obviously, I want nothing but the best for it. So I don't know, you guys. If you feel the same way or feel differently, please share your feedback down in the comments. I know most of my guildmates agree, but I'd love to hear from other people's opinions and just see what everyone else is feeling like in terms of Legends right now. I think I've probably babbled enough at this point, so it felt good to be able to record again, and I hope you guys enjoyed. This is Mr. Subarashi signing off. Hope you guys have a great one. Peace.